I swear phones can be so much of a distraction. Anyways, let me just wait for you guys to come on the live. In the meantime, let me speak to those on the radio. Good morning, everybody. How's everything going? How y'all keeps? I like that. My Trinidadian friend always asks me that. How you keeps? Good morning, Camille. And I just find it so funny whenever she asks me that. How you keeps? Like, how do you keep? Yeah, they're funny. Um, Good morning, Neela. Good morning, Della. This you always ask me how it keeps. So how y'all keeps? Come on in quick, guys. Yesterday I started talking and I was like, you know what? Oh Lord, how am I talking for 25, 30 minutes? And then when I did not pay attention to the time. And when I finally checked the time, I was like, I've gone past 11:30. So it's like time is nothing at all. It's absolutely nothing at all. Anywho's, come on in. My guest canceled on me this morning. Niels Triton. I was supposed to talk to him today. He's a psychologist, psychotherapist, something of that sort, but he forgot he had a funeral this morning, 11 o'clock funeral, and we had to switch it up. So sorry about that, Niels. But we will be back. We will be here Thursday. Can't remember. Anyway, um, we will be back. Good morning, Najuma. Good morning, Kevin, Deborah, Julianne Williams, Gieds. Good morning, Marian. Good morning, Charmaine, Fiona. Good morning, Nigel. Good morning. It's so good of you guys to join us. Deborah Bernity. Hope I got that name right. Good morning, Tasha. Hope all is well. How y'all keeps? Good morning, Tamasha. So nice of you to join us again. Rachel, good morning. I hope you guys are having a good morning so far, wherever you are. Milano Regis, good morning. Come on in the live and hit the share button because I really want us to have this conversation. And I have a disclaimer. Good morning, Roseanne. Good morning, Narissa. I have not seen you on this side in a minute. Hope all is well. Well, based on your pictures, you seem to be doing good. But you can't judge things on pictures because I can tell you that I've taken some pictures where I look amazing, but I was not feeling amazing. I was just not in it at all. So we can't judge on pictures. People post the best pictures, and sometimes they're going through depression and all sorts of stresses. So I just hope you're doing well, regardless. Tasha, good morning. Welcome, guys. Who did I miss? Zavid, good morning. Thank you so much. Good morning, Salome. Hope you're having a good one. It's good to be home. Absolutely no place like home, right? The thing about traveling, and I'm not sure if I'm the only one who feels this way, but it's like when you're out there, you're having the best time, but you can't wait to return to your bed, like your own bed. It's like when you get home, that's the first place you want to be, on your bed. It's like so different. You totally enjoy being out. You totally enjoy, the hotel or wherever you're living, but it's just something about your own bed. And I'm the type of person, like when I'm on vacation, I don't sleep well at all. Like 2, 3 in the morning, I'll be up and I'll go to sleep and I'll probably wake up like 11, 12 in the day. And then I'll be up for the rest of the day. And then after 2, 3 in the morning, it's just really difficult falling asleep. I don't know if I'm the only one who feels that way, but every time I travel or whatever, long as it's not in my own bed, I have the hardest time falling asleep. It's like, it's crazy. It's like you're never, Sheena, that's a good question. I have no idea. Yeah, it's like your bed, it's just so different. Like when you fall out your bed, it's like the very first night when you get back, or day or whatever, when you get back from vacation or from traveling and you lay on your bed, it's like, oh my God, I missed you. It's like, like if you could hug your bed, like big hug, like I love you bed. Yeah, it's like the most it's the best feeling ever. Anyway, I think I got enough people so I can start. Share the live, and of course, I want to get your thoughts. And before I say anything else, let me turn down my music and give my disclaimer. I want to talk about mandatory vaccinations. There seems to be a lot of talk about it in the air. And there are some folks who are for it, and there are some folks who are against it. Now, before I say anything, nobody can send me. All right? I'm not being paid. No politician asked me. No management asked me. Nobody asked me anything. This is my to do thingy here. Nobody sent me to test no waters. Nobody sent me to do no survey. No, nothing. I just find that it's something that's making the rounds. There's a lot of conversations on it. So why not have our own conversation over here? Because based on the way things are going, it seems as though it's happening, and in some instances you don't really have a say based on where you work and stuff like that. Plus, for those of you who saw the news put out by the United States Immigration Department, what have you, that I'm not sure on the exact date in November, you must be fully vaccinated to go into people place. Fully to go into people place. So for those of you who have visas and probably whatever, and you have not been vaccinated and you have plans of traveling, you might want to look into that, because they're saying you can't, you must travel, you must be fully vaccinated to enter the United States of America. So I just wanted to have the conversation on that. Alrighty. Somebody says I think November 1st. I'm not too clear on the date, but I know it's in November. Somebody's saying 11 November, 1st November, whatever the date. For those of you who have interest, you can check it out. But it's November. I know that for sure. So I just wanted to have that conversation. Like I said, nobody can send me. And anybody who knows me know how disobliging I am. Nobody can send me. I have my own way. I'm opinionated. I'm stubborn and rare. Nobody can send me. And I don't hold no card for any political party or what have you. Never been on their platform. Never stood and say anything. Also, another disclaimer, I am not here to tell anybody what they should do, whether to be vaccinated or not, because I saw somebody sort of leaning in that direction. So let me prop you up straight this morning. I have not, and I won't ever. I'll be out of place. And as my good friend Eddie Frederick would say, I'll be fast, forward, and frontish to tell grown people what they should do with their own bodies. I've been saying it from the start of this, that this is something that's a choice, that's a decision you have to make on your own. You do what's best for you. If you think that you need to, then do it. You don't think that you should or you want to, then don't. So those are the two things I want to be very clear on before we have this conversation this morning. One, I'm doing this of my own free will based on, what's out there. And, that seemed to be the talking point. Mandatory vaccination. I was not sent by anybody. I was not asked to do this. I'm doing it on my own. As a matter of fact, I said I had a guest and we had to cancel because he had a funeral. So I'm like, at the last minute, oh my gosh, what can I talk about? What can I talk about? And I decided to go with that. And to remind folks that I'm also not here to tell people to get vaccinated or not get vaccinated. That is totally not my place. And because I, for one, know that if I were not vaccinated, I would not want anybody to tell me that I need to be or I should be if I don't feel like it or I don't think it's the right time or whatever reason I have, or I just don't want to put it in my body, period. That's totally on me. But we just want to look at the pros and the cons of it this morning. And I want to get your feedback for those who are totally against it and don't think that they should. Because hate it or like it, if you're paying attention to what's going on, you can see that in certain sectors and places, you don't really have a choice. Although some would say you have a choice to take it or not to take it based on what you do and some of the regulations. You don't really have a choice, right? For one, the daycare centers, your parents must be vaccinated, staff must be vaccinated, etc., to drop off, pick up, work. Hotels, you have to be fully vaccinated. So it's either you take the job or you leave the job. And it's like, the scale is not balanced because we all need a job. We all need to work. We have bills to pay. We have children to take care of. You have, responsibilities that you need money for. So it's hard to say, you know what, this job could kick rocks, I don't need it anyways. There's hard COVIDious times. Plus, I'm seeing a lot of vacancies advertising for vaccinated people to apply. I've seen a couple um, job being posted on social media specifically asking for vaccinated people only to apply. Now, the question one begs, mandated or not, that seems to be the direction we're headed. Technically, so there are folks who say they are not and they don't believe in that. There are other people. I've seen people calling for, the government of Grenada to make it mandatory. Well, the prime minister said earlier on in the game that, when the whole vaccination drive started, that he does not believe in mandatory vaccination, but you're seeing people asking for it. People in positions calling for it. So, what are your thoughts? I'd love to hear from you. I'd like to get you guys feedback on it. 440-9595. You can hit me up on the WhatsApp, or you can send me a voice note. Let me see if we can get some comments. What are you guys' thoughts? Um, Tasha says you either get vaccinated and live in society, or not vaccinated and live in isolation. I'm already here, because not only the daycares, etc., you're hearing like there are certain perks to being vaccinated. You can eat in restaurants, and there are places where you can, like, it's like there are certain things that's for, and it's like a war of the vaccinated against the unvaccinated, the vaxxed against the anti-vax. And it's like there are things like you get certain perks, there are certain things that you get to enjoy, while somebody else who's not vaccinated, they don't have that. They don't get to enjoy the same thing. Good morning, Mel. Thanks so much. Good to be back. Good morning, Maria. So, what are you guys? What are your thoughts on this? Do you think that is something? Do you think that is something we direction we should head, or is it something that? Let me see. Karen says I posed that question to the PM during our diaspora engagement over the weekend, and his response was no. However, I believe the private sector will lead the charge, and the others will be forced to follow suit. And you're so right about that, Karen, because if it has started, if you look at what's going on, it has started places where you must be fully vaccinated to enter. Tasha says, why make it mandatory? Doesn't prevent you from getting it. I just don't die. Don't quote me, but really, what if you got a weak immune, then a booster, then after that, booster that? I don't know. Um, Deidre said all over the world they are mandatory. In Canada, you can't get on the train if you are 12 years and older if you're not vaccinated. Tasha says, vaccinated or not, it's not my business. One can change oneself, but not another person. We choose according to our interests. And Brian says, us versus them, that can be a serious problem moving forward. Not moving forward, it is already a serious problem. If you hear the conversations and you're seeing the postings and the responses, and it is already a problem. The us versus them is already a problem. And people are, of course, putting in, their rights to this, or their rights to the job, their rights to this, that, or the other. They are concerned about it. Donna Swap says, important point of clarity. Not everyone who doesn't want to be vaccinated is anti-vax. Some people are okay with vaccines generally, but for whatever reason are against taking this COVID vaccination. And you are so correct about that. Not everyone. I've spoken to people who are not against it, but they just don't think it is necessary at this point in time, because according to them, and you have to understand, you have to look at it from both sides of the fence, because there are those who are saying, and I spoke to someone who said they got the virus, had it really bad, but they recovered. So if their immune system was able to fight it, why do they need to take a vaccine that does not prevent them from getting it again? And I can understand that to a certain extent because, like the person, like he said, he totally lived it. It was the worst experience of his life. Does not wish that, and as a matter of fact, his exact words were, he does not even wish that on his baby mother. And anybody who knows the person, know him and his baby mother, they don't have a good relationship. It's really bad, really bad. And not even wishing it on his baby mother. That's as bad as it gets. So he he um he wasn't against it, like he said, because he had all intentions of taking it, and then he came down with the virus, and now he's saying, well, from where he sits, he doesn't think he needs to take it anymore because didn't take it before, got the virus, recovered, and he doesn't think he's gonna take it again because someone says someone posted on Facebook saying give permission only to vaccinated persons to be outside from 7 p.m. to 4 a.m. No, that's asking for trouble. Listen, that is asking for trouble. Another person says, I don't think the public has enough info on this vaccine to state it actually safe. And then they say we have rights and a choice, but the pressure and force us by taking away our jobs and our rights. I don't stand for that. Provide us with all the info on the vaccine, and maybe we'll be more straight about their choice. But so far, the vaccine is not 100% safe. There's lots of cons in that area, and we are not spoken to by health. Candy, let me dispute that because what I've realized is people have been using that there's not enough information as an excuse. Because I've seen several forums, case in point, one on Sunday, and it's been for the past couple of Sundays, we've had professionals out in the diaspora, scientists, medical folks, who that's their livelihood. They've had this program every Sunday. Office of the Diaspora, whatever, I can't remember the page. I don't know what's going on with my memory these days. They've had this program every Sunday. And the number of people I see viewing, I'm like, and I had, as a matter of fact, I made that comment last Sunday. People are saying there's not enough information, but there are programs disseminating information, and it's like the same amount of people you see under these lives every time, like 30, 40, 50 people. And then you have lives that are bullying people, clowning people, and there are thousands of people. People find their way to these lives, but lives that are disseminating information, people are saying they don't see it. So how you don't see it, but you're seeing all the lives with people just acting the fool every time. And what I've realized is that it is an excuse because, for one, if there is something that I need to know, I'm not going to wait on somebody to tell me or force me the information. I'm going to take it on my own to get the information. And if maybe I need direction as to where I should go, I can ask a question. But there are people who don't ask anything. It's like people want to sit in their home or sit on the phone and have somebody come to them on a one-on-one basis and tell them exactly what they need to hear. If you are interested in something that affects you or could affect you, wouldn't you say the onus is on you or the responsibility is yours to get the information yourself or to put yourself in a position to get the information? So I'm no longer buying this. They're not giving us information. There's been numerous programs all over social media, numerous. And someone said, well, they didn't know about it. I've seen even flyers made weeks before that live and shared. And people still aren't interested because to them it's boring, or maybe they don't understand some of the terms used. And I'm glad that folks who were disseminating that sort of information understand that you can't speak that language to everyone because they wouldn't understand. You had to break it down. You had to come down to the level of the ordinary man, so you would make sense out of what you're saying. Because when you're using these big terminologies and words, a lot of the time people are just lost. So the message gets lost, and you're back at square one. So this excuse of not enough information, it is a farce. People are just using that as an excuse now. If you want the information, you're going to get the information. I've lost count of the amount of lives I've been on, not only in Grenada, Trinidad, Barbados, and Vincent. Almost every island has some forum or some platform where they discuss these things, where they talk about the pros and the cons, and they have like mixed audience, people who are for it and people who are against it, and some will give in the pros and the cons regarding the vaccines, and some of um some of the things they've witnessed. Maybe there's Skyrim says maybe we have too much info. People don't know what to do with it, or maybe they don't understand the information. But there's loads of information on the internet, loads of information. CDC, WHO, just about everywhere. All you have to do is type in COVID information, vaccination, and a lot of information comes up. Someone says, I know a few people who refused to take the vaccine and had so much information on why they weren't taking it, but took it when they started offering the $100. So my question to them was, what changed your mind? They were offering $100 to take vaccine? Where? I didn't know that. I did not know that. Donna says, my heart bleeds for. Listen, let me play my disclaimer here because y'all ain't about to get me sued. Someone says they were offering. Who was offering $100? Where am I when these things passing around? Every time at election time, I hear people getting corned beef and getting money in jersey and money in cap. I've never been lucky to get any of those. Listen, I saw a tin of corned beef in the United States of America for almost 10 US dollars. So if you're getting corned beef and them thing, hook me up. I want to be in line. All right. And if they're offering money, I've never been lucky to see any money passing my way in cap or jersey or anything. And I always hear people talking about those things, money and whatever passing in t-shirt and hat and what have you. I've never seen it. Like y'all choosing, picking and choose who. So my vote ain't count. My vote have no value. If anybody have to get money in jersey, it's me. Because I think I can pull a couple people your way. So y'all need to work on that for the next election. All right? Sort me out. Someone says, why don't people put the same energy in looking for misinformation to find information that's out there? Donna says, my heart bleeds for everyone. I have close family members and friends on both sides of the aisle, vaxxed and unvaxxed. I love them equally and don't judge them. Personally, I wasn't willing to gamble about getting COVID. What's going on? I have no notes. Don't know your thing. Just yeah, I wasn't willing to gamble about getting COVID, so I'm fully vaxxed with Moderna. And if I am honest, I would encourage people to get vaccinated. But a big but, I am fortunate to live in a developed country where I've had my choice of vaccines, pretty much. So I was able to do my research and choose. I understand. And Donna, I was at that same place because ask ask folks around me when this whole vaccine thing came up. I was like, nope, nada, zilch, not putting that in my body because I believed all the conspiracies and I was not paying. I was, to be honest, I wasn't really paying attention to it. I wasn't. And the thing about it is, the noise against it was much louder than the noise for it. So that sort of drowned everything. So all those information, misinformation, I was taking that in and not, you know, getting the right source or doing my own research. And when it started getting, the numbers started rising, because initially I thought this COVID thingy was just, give and take 3, 4, 5 months and we back to doing our own business. Never in a million years thought like a year, almost 2 years later, we'll be still having this COVID conversation and living in COVID, living with COVID. So I personally, this whole vaccine thing, I was like, nope, not doing it, not putting it in my body. And then, I was talking to somebody who lived in the United States who got it. And she was like, why aren't you taking the vaccine? And she asked me if I'm vaccinated, and I said no. They're like, why? I'm like, I don't want it in my body. And she was like, that's the only reason you're not concerned about your health? Of course, knowing that I'm asthmatic. And she works in the health field. So I'm like, I wasn't really interested. Just and she was like, so somebody who has asthma, you should be the last one talking about not taking it because you are high risk. I'm like, oh really? And that sort of opened my eyes to like getting the information. And then when we spoke about it here at work, I can even ask boss, and she said, we thinking about getting vaccinated. Would you like to? And I was like, nah. And one thing I must say, for all those you saw on camera here at Power getting vaccinated, we were not told we have to be. We were asked if we want to. So we had the choice to say yes or no. Because I was asked if I want to take it so they can, give the medical people coming to do it the numbers and what have you. And I was like, still hesitant. I was like, nah. And it was within that time frame. They gave us the date we were going to get it. I decided, you know what? Maybe it's time for me to take this seriously. Let me see what's out there where this is concerned. So I spoke to my friend again, like I said, who worked in the health field, and asked questions. And then she sent me a couple links that I could check out that I've shared with other people. And that is how I made up my mind, because at the end of the day, I'm like, you know what? I think I fear life more than I fear death. So it got to a point to me where I was like, you know what? Whatever happens, happens. Because when you're dead, you don't know you're dead. You know you're alive. And I fear living more than I fear dying. I don't know when I'm dead. I know I'm alive today. I know I stumped my toe and it hurts. I bumped my elbow and it hurts. My knee and it hurts. I get a cut and it bleeds. I know pain, I know disappointment, I know struggles, I know stress, I know heartbreak, I know just about everything while I'm living. So I more fear living than I fear dying. So, some people here say they're afraid of dying. What's to be afraid of? When I die, I don't know if I'm dead. All gotta go someday. You're not here forever. So if there's that time, it's that time. But not everybody feels that way. Some people are very passionate about it, not as nonchalant as I am. It's like, so you still have to understand those people. But my point is, the information is there. So I'm no longer buying this excuse of I don't have the information or they're not giving us the information. We can't spoon feed everybody. Everybody wants that personalized touch and care and like sit down one on one. It's not possible. There's not enough people to do that. If they were to do that, it'll take the rest of the year and then some. So the onus is on you. Again, they keep using this word and people seem to be taking it lightly. Personal responsibility. If you think it's something you're interested in, then get the information. There's press conferences every week. Get the Zoom link, join, and ask questions or talk to your own doctor. And might I add as well, I also did a checkup before I got vaccinated. I did my yearly checkup, did blood work and everything to make sure that everything was okay and there's nothing that I should be concerned about. So that is something you can also do as well. If you have other underlying issues, you can talk to your medical doctor, practitioner, what have you, do your regular checkup. Because people are saying they fear the vaccine, they're not taking the vaccine. But if you realize that a number of people who died based on, conversations I've had with family, they didn't even realize they had underlying issues. For all intents and purposes, they thought they were perfectly healthy and strong and living day to day, no flu, no cold, no aches, no pain, and seemingly looking well, thinking they're healthy. And COVID exposes a lot of underlying issues. And one thing you realize is that people, unless they're in excruciating pain, uh, thing or something that home remedies don't work for, or some over-the-counter medication don't work for, a lot of people that is the only time they see a doctor's office or room or what have you. A lot of people don't think, okay, I need to get a checkup yearly, every 6 months or yearly, or whatever the case might be. And these are people who also have vehicles and they know you have to service your vehicle, otherwise it's going to break down. You're going to have serious problems if you don't service your vehicle. You have to. After how many miles or whatever, you have to service. You have to change your oil. So a vehicle isn't that much different from the human body. If I were to ask on this live of 89 people right now, how many, when was the last time you had a checkup? How many can honestly say, I get checked out every year or every 6 months? When was the last time you did an overall checkup? Blood work, urine, the whole work. How many people can say that on the live? That you've had your yearly checkup already? Candy's saying, what about our health system that's in a ministry and so they're not telling us what's in the vaccine? So the question is, even if they tell us, do we even know? Candy, let me tell you this. If you want to know what's in the vaccine, like I did, I went to the CDC's page. They have everything that's there. I don't know what those are. I tried to Google some of them and it made no sense to me, so I left it alone. People want the information, they want to know what's in the vaccine. Even if they tell you, do you know what it is? I don't know. Do you know? Even if they tell you, do you know what it is? Do you understand what's in it? So I'm saying you can't wait on them. I understand what you're saying, that you want all the information to make an informed decision. But if you realize that it's not forthcoming, are you still just going to sit back and use that as an excuse that they're not telling you, so I'm not going to get vaccinated or I'm going to get vaccinated? I'm saying that all the information that you're asking and you're not getting from the Ministry of Health and health professionals or what have you, it is there. Long as you have a smartphone, long as you have internet connection, you can find it. And it does not take a minute. You type it in and it's there. So you don't have to wait on somebody to tell you what's in something that you're skeptical about. Stop waiting. All the information, and these are pertinent questions that you're asking. So don't think that I'm making fun or I'm taking what you're saying, dismissing what you're saying. You're asking what about our health system or ministry not telling us what's in these vaccines, what are the effects in the human body when the ingredients are taken by itself or combined, long-term concerns, and all these things. You are so correct. These are pertinent questions. Everyone would react to the vax the same way. Have you thought about what it would do to my DNA, my blood, my body, brain? Listen, if you are concerned about those things, then you need to find the information. At the end of the day, I'm not so concerned or worried about it because, like I said, I fear life more than I fear death. So it is what it is. But there are people, like I said, who are concerned. So don't just sit there and hold on to your concerns. Type them in. Go to Google. There's loads of information there. Speak to your doctor. The same live press conferences with the Minister of Health, the CMO, and whoever. Ask those questions. Instead, you see people on those lives trying to who could get the most likes and laughs and for saying the dumbest things. When there are questions, pertinent questions that they can ask, you can get the link, join the lives and ask those questions. Because trust me, y'all are asking some questions that I don't even see some of my own media people asking. And these are valid questions. So maybe they should probably have a day when instead of having the same media people come asking the same questions every time, probably have different people like yourself, Candy, and Donna, and Deirdre, and whoever else. Like, just get a panel from the public, from, let's say, different parishes, ordinary man, so they can ask the question the way they want to ask it and not how the media people would ask it in this fancy way. So they would ask it so they would be answered the way they'll understand. So instead of every week or every time we have press conference, we have only media people. Maybe we should incorporate the ordinary man, like how it's Saturday we had talking to the diaspora. Maybe we can ask ordinary folks to do that. Someone says up to 15 minutes. Before I took mines, I was telling people I ain't taking it for nothing. I just took a drive, saw a pop-up tent, and a little voice jump in my head. Go take it, considering my job and my side business. Now I'm fully vaxxed and didn't have no symptoms, this person said. Good for you. Someone says, what about two doctors, a person in the medical field singing two different tunes? Would you be concerned or confused? Chris, I'm not really, because um I don't listen to you see, the problem, you get confused when you're listening to everybody. And that's what I was doing. I was listening to everybody, and it was just different information, because there's doctors saying take it, there's doctors saying don't take it, it was just too much. So I had to like really cut down on the amount of information I was taking in and who I was listening to, because people have so much different agendas. Sometimes you're thinking, this person is for real and they're really interested and they're looking out for you, and then you get to realize, man, you're an ish. It's all about politics and all about this, that, and the other. So I can't take you seriously because I don't know when you're like being serious here. So I've had to like stop listening to a lot of people, because it was confusing me. It was really confusing me. But yeah, y'all left me to talk again. Y'all are no help. I don't know why I come here asking y'all for help. Our ladies' room came to you compliments. Escomar, Variety Store, Beacon Insurance, and Western Union. You're just in there talking amongst yourself, and I'm over here talking by myself. Not even a little call to support. See, y'all don't want the information. Let me just not even stop bothering. But at the end of the day, like I said, for or against, one thing's for sure, COVID-19 is not going anywhere anytime soon. And if you have not realized that by now, I'm not sure when you're going to realize it again. Because every time you think that it's okay, settling down, it mutates. Here comes another Delta 5, IMO, whatever, 5, 6, 7, 8. Every time it's another one. Every time you think, all right, it's cooling down. Okay, seems like that we have it under control. Mutates, and here we go again. A new strain. I know, it's tiring. But like I said, information, information is there. But you're the one to make the decision as to what you're going to do with yourself. Like, someone says some people act like vaccine just got here because of COVID-19 vaccine been there long before. You have many vaccines we got when we were kids running. Yeah, someone say when you were kids you didn't have a choice. You didn't have, access to asking anybody. The only person you saw was your doctor when you went to the doctor. But now that, we have access and we have the internet and we have all these gadgets, we we can speak up now. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna see you tomorrow, God's will, for another one. So the amount of all of a sudden online medical experts I had to block. Listen, I never knew I had so many medical doctors and scientists and epidemiologists and what have you as friends. I swear, until. But hey, it's good that people are having conversations, engaged in conversations. So me, Sheena, I ain't even I stop stress myself. You hear what I say? You hear my disclaimer? Who want to take? You don't want to take, that is your business. You can't force anybody. And one thing I realize, especially Grenadians, we are stubborn and hard headed as they come. So if we say ain't doing it, we ain't doing it. So who want to raise their pressure every day and beat up and tell people take this and don't take that, or they're on your own? I'm in my zen right now, a stress free bubble. I mean taking on nobody on the vaccine stress. Protect yourself. Have a great day, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow for another show. All right. Thanks so much for checking in. Laters.